Hey guys, so I've been away enjoying the Edinburgh Fringe Festival for, well, last week, and this is basically the first time that I've gotten around to, you know, not procrastinating enough to make a video, which is great. So I figured I'd tell you guys a little bit about it. So if any of you have been to the Fringe Festival, you would know about how if you go down any street corner, any side alleys, down any main road at all, there's going to be people trying to hand you flyers for various comedy acts, for improv shows, and probably another one of those Alice in Wonderland sketches with an interpretive take on the darker side of Alice in Wonderland, as if there isn't a million of those already. Not saying I don't like them, because I love Alice in Wonderland and I'll fall for it every time. But there's so many. Like, there's only so many times you can see a different interpretation of it. I'm sorry, but no. So me and my friends made it out of this really cool marketplace, and the streets sort of thinned out a bit. And we're approached by this guy who, I'm not even kidding, literally comes up to us and says, "Hey guys, you want to join me in the back of my van?" And obviously we said sure. So we go over to the van and we wait outside, because we assume by this point that it must be a, you know, an actual venue for the Fringe Festival with a comedian inside, and it's just a tiny venue because, hey, that makes it nice and quirky and stuff. I don't think we actually got told that, but that's what we assumed. So we pay the £1, which is what they wanted for the privilege of perhaps being kidnapped and perhaps getting to laugh at a comedian. I mean, either way, you're gonna get a good story out of that. Evidently, that's the case. So we were sort of talking amongst ourselves while we were waiting for whatever was happening inside the van to finish. There was like a guy sat on the side somewhere as well, just on his phone, and there wasn't that many of us there, but then how many could really fit in a van? And we were laughing to ourselves, obviously in the way that you would expect, just thinking, oh yeah, that's hilarious, that this is going to be a great story to tell afterwards, assuming we don't die. And about 5 minutes in, we realise that we can't hear anything from inside the van, which is slightly worrying. I mean, being a comedian is supposed to be in there, you'd think that people would either be laughing at him or, well, booing him, really. Some kind of noise would be made from that van. But no. So obviously our next assumption was they are dead and they're currently hiding the bodies. So the doors open and we're allowed in, and interestingly I didn't see a comedian leave. But you know, we're in too deep now, so might as well go ahead with it. And I think the last comment I made just before we got in was, hey, wouldn't it be hilarious if that guy who was sat over there listened to us like freak out this entire time and be complete weirdos about this was actually the comedian that was going to be performing for us? LOL. Yeah, you can imagine who ended up being the comedian. I did not expect to be right. In any way, I did not expect that. Like, in hindsight, that would make sense. But I did not expect that. The entire time we'd been talking about how this comedian could be absolutely awful because we can't hear anyone laughing. But not only did we end up being like inches away from him since we were sat on the front row and this van fit about 20 people in, and it wasn't a big van, like at all. You can imagine how awkward that was for the entire show. But I mean, at the end of it all, you kind of gotta laugh, because I mean, the stupidity that it takes for young girls to think, oh yeah, that's a good idea, we'll go get in the back of this white van because they said there was gonna be a fun thing show stuff. Yeah, that's good. I didn't word any of that right, but never mind! So yeah, not dead. And it did make us a little bit more cautious about the people that we spoke to on the streets afterwards, which is probably a lesson I need to learn. But later in the week we discovered something which was an even better deterrent than our just generally angry faces staring at them. So for basically the entire week we ate out every day, which was not healthy, but we don't care. You can't fat shame us, we will eat what we like. Woman power, food power, pizza, yes. So we ordered 2 large pizzas among the 4 of us, which we figured would divide pretty well. So about 20 minutes, half an hour of waiting, the waitress comes over and she's got 2 pizzas in her hands and the most adorable nervous little face on, and she gives us the pizzas and we realise that one of them is not what we ordered. I think my brother just sneezed. And I felt so sorry for her because she looked so scared, so nervous, that she was like trying to explain to us that the orders got mixed up and that we'd be getting our pizza soon, but this one was sent out for now. And we were just looking among ourselves like, wait a minute. So we get a free pizza? There is no mistake here, that's fine. We don't mind yet, that's cool, that's really fine. No mistakes, no, that's good. So by the time we had finished, there was about a box worth of bits and pieces left, and we were taking that back to our place. And it turns out that's an even better deterrent than just a really angry, scowly face when you're walking past fly people. Like, you just need to carry the pizza. When they look at you, make eye contact. Look down at the pizza. Look at them just slightly annoyed. and then keep on walking. Like, yes, I see what you're trying to get me to go to. No, you can see that I have plans, and it does not include your show. And while there's a lot more that I could say about Edinburgh, I'm gonna cut this video here because that makes my editing job and while there's a lot more that I could say about Edinburgh, I'm gonna cut this video here because it's gonna make my editing job a lot shorter and a lot easier. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, but since the Fringe Festival, well, the entire point of the Fringe Festival is to give up-and-coming acts a chance to show off their stuff and get recognised for it, I figured I would give a shout out to the ones that I actually really enjoyed, because they were good. Like, that's the point of the festival, and if you like them, I'll try and find links to put in the description to look them up in some way. I don't know what I'll actually be able to find on them because they're really niche acts and just, I don't know how you find them. But yeah, the first one's called Britney. It's performed by two girls who are best friends, and it basically explains in a humorous way the story of how one of them found out that they had a brain tumour, and they're all better now, but it's the story of how that unfolds in a really comical and really good way. Like, it's kind of a sketch-based thing, and it's just really good, so I enjoyed that one a lot. It was not necessarily dark humour, but it was enjoyable. Number 2, Fossils, a play which includes toy dinosaurs as characters, and it was actually really beautiful, as weird as it sounds to find a play that includes toys as people. It was really good. And 3, The Noise Next Door. I think these ones are probably the biggest group of the ones that I'm giving a shout out to because these are the 3 that I really enjoyed. I enjoyed others, but just these are the best ones. But these guys are an improv group made up of 4 guys, I think. It's a group of guys. But they're really good, and I don't know if they have like sketches on YouTube or anything, but I would recommend you find them. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you again. Bye! People don't realise how much I mess up when I talk in these.